This is ridiculous. Look at all this stuff. There's absolutely no room and no place to pat me. Not good enough. I'm leaving. Okay, with the Zero Design team support, here's what we're making today. Some little hidden paper clips, nice and festive, so that you can date your journal year by year. Kia ora e te whānau. Well, my cat's not impressed with me, as you've probably seen. I am definitely getting there on my Christmas journal. But she's already huge, and she's still missing a signature that hasn't got any padding on it. So, but the reason why I've left out that signature is because, see these tabs here? They will direct the story, the poem of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, so that when I one day read it to my grandies, it can become a little tradition where I read the story through the journal. And there is a little bit of a process because the original book was just stapled in one signature. To get the variation and not just have the whole chunk of the book, say, in the middle of the journal, and to have it spaced throughout, there is a little bit of a process. So if you want me to do a video on that so that the book's still readable, let me know. I'm sure you can kind of imagine what I mean, because even if you, which is what I did, I ripped all the pages in half and I've tabbed those pages onto another page. But if you just do all of those the same way, you're going to end up with storybook, 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 page that's been added to it, page that's been added to it. So, and the way I wanted it is I wanted this next page to be something else other than storybook. So if that's something that maybe you haven't seen before or don't know how to do, let me know. And I'll quickly show how I did the little tabs as well in that same video if you want, because all I've done is hand typed on my old typewriter, and some of them I've just left as is, and then some of them I have put extra length on the pages so that the tabs still pull out in little clusters. Okay, but today I'll just grab that first signature. These guys here I showed on my official December non-daily. Yes, that's right. We are doing an official December non-daily here, people, on this channel. So if you want to join up to that, which there is really no joining, there's no rules. It is simply craft when you want and don't feel the pressure of having to do a page a day, because hats off to the ladies that can do that, but I do not have the time in my day to try and finish a page every day. So my little journal is obviously going to have a page entry, but sometimes we might take more photos and it might be 3 pages for 2025. So what I've done is I've made these little page markers so that I can determine where 1 year of journaling starts and where one ends, and I've just decorated both sides. So it really is just a hidden paper clip, which means that wherever these are, a photo can be slid in and held with it as well. The only thing is, I thought, well, we'll do clusters differently, so maybe I'll make a couple, and I've got a little trick to putting this on so that it doesn't interfere with the paper clips. So I have just some scraps of fabric, ink obviously, because we know me, just some texture, some green and red cotton that I might ball up and use. This, so for my non-daily, I do make a post a day, but lower your expectations, because sometimes it'll be a pocket that I've made. Sometimes it will be like yesterday's, my dyed red hands in a photo because I hadn't used gloves. Sometimes it will be a freebie, and these are a little freebie, just a printable that I've cut out, fussy cut them and inked around the edges. I've got some red and green stamps that I've found that look quite, you know, old version, and just a few labels and bits and pieces. And I just got out my number stamps and my archival ink. What colour is that? vermilion. I really love that for a Christmas colour. It's not too orangey red, and I've just stamped the next 3 years of dates. And then all you need to do is some sort of cardstock. I like using the brown. I have cut, this is obviously from A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens, 2 exactly the same size. My measurements, but honestly I've got different sizes as well. So the front is about 5 centimeters, and sorry, my ruler doesn't, this ruler doesn't have inches, and the back almost 6.5. So I give myself about 1 centimeter to 1.5 centimeters. That just makes it so much easier to slide them on once they're done. If they're meeting at the same point, you've kind of got to separate them and figure out where that goes, I find. So I always do mine like that. I've just inked them and I've corner punched, rounded the edges. And this guy here, I was just thinking I might do maybe a little bit of a collage on this side. So to do a collage, I'll probably just fast forward a little bit and I'll work just in silence so that you can just see the process, but I'll make it a little bit quicker. Okay, so I've just cut that so that it fits. I only had this size number, or really, really tiny ones, so I went with the larger ones that only just fit. So I'll just trim that down a little bit more. You can make these little label tags so that you can actually slide the piece in and out as well, but I want mine to be permanent, so I'm just going to, rather than try and put this back in with a little bit of glue, once I've put this on, I'm just going to approximate where I want it, and that's where I'm going to stick my label on. So I will just put this about there, maybe move it up a little bit so that we've got this guy quite close to the edge, and got a little bit of time to move the glue around as we go. Okay, so now obviously before I've even touched the paper clips or anything, this is where I put this guy on. So I have teeny tiny little brads that I use. They must only be about 2 to 3 millimeters. And I've got nice short little legs as well. So I'll just pop those there. Grab my awl. And I'm just going to, I'm not expecting this glue to hold this metal permanently, but just for now, just going to pop that there. Hopefully that'll just help me while I am poking my holes through. That's craft card, so you're definitely going to need some help. Okay, so that's that part done. Now all we need to do is pop some paper clips on and glue that in there. I will decorate the back as well, so maybe I'll do that first. But that's already looking quite cute, and I don't think that needs anything else. I've got ones with texture and ones with fabric, and as you've seen. So this guy, maybe I'll just use one of these. It might just look quite cute just with that alone. Quite like that. Just, yeah, I might just do that. Okay, so where are we gluing? Okay, so paper clips. For this, because these are quite short ones, I am going to use 2, and I am going to do my usual trick. And you're just going to punch just a little divot out of there, because that will allow the paper clip to slide right down. Why do you do that, do you ask? I hear you ask. Because that way, when you glue this guy on, he fits really well and snug. Now there is this little bit, but as you know, you're only going to see that for the tiniest amount of time, because by the time it's slid on there, you're not going to see it at all, and very rarely are you going to have it just floating around, not on the edge of a page. And then after that, all I do is massively glue it. Because you've got the fold line up here, those paper clips can never go anywhere anyway. So I'm not too worried about sellotaping them in place or making sure they stay there. And sometimes I will just slide a little piece of plastic in here just in case, so that any glue seepage doesn't stick the paper clip together. Now we will just find our next writing page. There you go, just say it's this. And she just pops on there like that. And there's our other side. I'll just pull that stuff out of the pocket for a second. So really cute, and you can use it then to hold something as well. So I might do another one with you. We'll do that one a little bit differently. So this one I'm going to leave a little bit of a brown craft border. So I will punch these separately. Here we go. I'm just going to quickly go and ink those. And I was thinking, let's make this one a little bit more textural. That guy's quite cute. Got a bit of this. Brown on brown. I like that. Now, my little trick with buttons is rather than trying to glue them, because the plastic I don't trust, I just sew a little circle onto the bottom first. And then I know that the glue will stick. So, maybe this guy first. So there you go, my lovelies. Some cute little hidden paper clips, and both sides beautifully. Some simple, some a little bit more involved. And if you are putting them, because they are somewhat directional, I mean, you could still do that, but depending, I just put them up the top if I put them on this page, or just if you make them non-directional, like, but even that's going to be upside down, that's going to be upside down. So yeah, I just slide them on the top. There you go. I hope you give some of those a go. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want those freebies, just on my channel, on my community page, that's where all of these are going to be popping up for my December non-daily posts. So join me for the chaos, the unplanned, the I don't have time today, the oh look, I made a pocket today, congratulations party poppers. And until next time, thank you for being with me. It means the world, and I hope you're all enjoying your December, whether it's daily or not. Mā te wā.